Hello pretty darling, smile always sparkling. Put you in the workforce, brain so started. Work so hard, slaying so harder. Last time I saw you were rocking on Prada. Raised by your father, maybe he's a doctor.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching me from across the world. My name is Omenuko, Emeka Moses of the Omenuko Lifestyle channel. Welcome to my channel today. Today is day 70 of our beans farming experiment in dry season. We're trying to find out if beans can grow and be produced in the dry season. Today is also 17th. Let me verify. Today is 17th of April 2025. 17th of April 2025. Somehow this experiment have slid into raining season. In fact, as it stands right now, it's a bit windy outside. It's a bit windy outside, and it seems like it wants to rain. Today, I want to talk about root systems in beans plant. You know, there are different types of root system. There is the taproot system, there's the fibrous root system, and there's the adventitious root system. But in beans, what we have is the taproot system. There's first a primary root that sinks into the ground. Then there are lateral roots that grow horizontally, searching for minerals and water in the soil. You know, we have root hairs, and in those hairs we have root noodles. Well, what I want to talk about today, I've jotted down most of it, if not all of what I want to say here. So it's not cramming matter. I'll be reading out almost verbatim what I've written down here. Then I'll be explaining how the beans root system work, helping the beans plant to develop. Then after that, we're going to go out to go and see what the beans plant looks like today on its day 70. Basically, we have 5 more days to go on this experiment. Beans normally takes about 75 days, and we're on day 70 in the dry season, and the beans have not produced flowers, it has not produced bud. So I'm not going to have beans on the farm. I'm not going to have beans on the plant on this experiment. If you are doing this experiment also, or you've planted beans before and it produced in the dry season, kindly send us records of what you did so that we can actually see if there's something I'm doing wrongly. So I'm going to also put it out for everybody that's following me to see the right way to go about it. Thank you. Today we're talking about the root systems of beans plant. So beans plant, which is the Phaceolus species, you know, Phaceolus species, we have different types. That's the botanical name for beans. Phaceolus, you know, we have the Phaceolus species, we have the Phaceolus vulgaris, we have the Vigna unguiculata, and so on. The botanical names for beans. Go and check out my day 40 video of this experiment. I listed out various varieties of beans, the botanical names. So beans, which is the Phaceolus species, like many dicotyledonous plants, if you want to know what dicotyledonous plants are, go and check out my day 2 or day 1 video. I think I explained something there about dicotyledons, the first dicotyledons that come out in beans and all that. The beans plant, like many dicotyledonous plants, possess a taproot system. I said it earlier, which is characterized by a single thick primary root. The taproot system is made of firstly, there's a main root, thick, that goes down, known as the primary root, and grows vertically downwards. From this main root, several smaller lateral roots emerge. From that main root, several other roots emerge. They branch out, forming a well-developed underground network that anchors the plant and absorbs water and nutrients from the soil. So the main root system of beans plant is the taproot system. The taproot system, it has a primary root that grows vertically downwards, and from that main primary root that grows downward, there are other lateral roots that branches out from the main root, from which it goes to look for minerals and water from the soil and all that. Now we'll talk about the taproot formation. When bean seed germinates, the radical embryonic root emerges first and grows into the primary root. This primary root develops into taproot, which becomes the main anchoring structure. It becomes the main anchoring structure of the beans plant. It grows deep into the soil in search of water, nutrients, especially during early growth stage. The taproot forms majorly during the early growth stage of the beans. It first of all emerges as an embryonic root, then it grows into the primary root. This primary root develops into the taproot, which becomes the main anchoring structure. To anchor means to hold it down on the ground. So the lateral roots, as the taproot grows, it gives rise to lateral roots or secondary roots. So the lateral roots can be known as the secondary roots. These roots grow horizontally, spreads horizontally from that main primary taproot that has grown down vertically. Grows horizontally or diagonally and helps expand the plant's reach for water and minerals. They increase the surface area of the root system, improving the plant's nutrient uptake efficiency. Okay, that's another part of the beans plant roots. The main tap roots, then we have the lateral roots. Then number 3, the root hairs. Tiny root hairs develop along the surface of the primary and the lateral roots. So besides the fact that there's a major root growing vertically downwards, then the lateral roots growing horizontally, root hairs also emerge on those tap roots. Tiny root hairs emerge on the tap root and also on those lateral roots growing horizontally. That's the root hairs, I believe, will be tiny hairs. Maybe I'll go and uproot one of the beans plants so that we can see. Tiny root hairs develop along the surface of the primary and lateral roots. These microscopic extensions of roots epidermal cells are essential for water and nutrient absorption. They significantly increase the surface area of the root system and are in close contact with soil particles. That's the root hairs. Then we have the root nodules. Beans, I've talked about root nodules. The nodules is where, in the root, the nodules is where we have the rhizobium bacteria that helps to trap nitrogen from the atmosphere and fix it into the soil that is required by the plant. But let's see. Root nodules. Beans plants are legumes and their roots often develop nodules due to a symbiotic relationship with nitrogen fixing bacteria, the rhizobium species. That's rhizobium. These nodules house the bacteria that convert atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia, a form of nitrogen the plant can use. The rhizobium, that bacteria in the root nodule, helps to trap atmospheric nitrogen and converts it into ammonium. Ammonium is a type of nitrogen that the plant can use. I think this further explains the nitrogen in the soil fixation that I was talking about earlier in one of the videos. This adaptation is vital for soil fertility and reduces the need for nitrogen fertilizers. And that is why when I was talking about the fertilizers you use in farm, we're talking about using low nitrogen fertilizers in the garden. Go and watch my other episodes where I talked about fertilizers, adding fertilizers, and how fertilizers affect beans plants. I talked about not using so much nitrogen content fertilizer because the beans itself knows how to fix nitrogen into the soil and use it for its growth. So functions and importance of the root. The root system of beans plants performs several vital functions. 1, it anchors the plant to the soil. It holds its ground. it holds it solidly on the ground. Then absorbs water and mineral nutrients. It also stores foods in some cases, facilitating nitrogen fixation through root nodules. So I'm going to paste the diagram on this video so that you can see what it looks like, what the structure looks like. Just a simple label diagram to illustrate the root system of beans plants. We'll have the stem, the tap roots, the lateral roots, the root nodules, and the root hair. So that's basically it. So that's basically what the root system of beans plant is structured to look like. Just look at the attached screenshots which I've just added, and I think you should be able to understand what I just explained. I'm going to also step out now and show you what the beans farm looks like today, and also probably tomorrow I'll uproot a root. I'll uproot one of the beans plants and show you what the roots look like. Today is day 70 of our beans farming experiment in dry season. Day 70. We have 5 days for this experiment to be over. I'm going to flip the camera right now and let's see. Today is it 17th? 17th. Today is 17th of April 2025, and day 70 of our beans farming experiment. We still don't have flowers. Let me just flip the camera, let you see. So it's almost as if beans will not produce flowers, will not produce in dry season. I'm going to flip the camera, let's see what it looks like right now. So this is what it looks like today. We ain't got no flowers, and the beans is drying up. No one single flower. The leaves are drying up. All right, so we are back. If you enjoyed this episode, our beans have still not produced anything. No flowers, no pods, no beans. I'm not sure I'm going to have beans. So beans seems like it's not producing in the dry season. Anyways, these are day 70 and 17th of April 2025. 17th of April 2025, day 70 of our experiment. We just have 5 days to go. If you've been with me here for this long, please like, share, drop a comment, subscribe. Thank you.
Hello pretty darling, smile always sparkling. Put you in the workforce, brain so started. Work so hard, slaying so harder. Last time I saw you were rocking on Prada. Raised by your father, maybe he's a doctor. Anytime I see you, my heart is beating fast.